Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Renee Semmerauer. Let's get right to our top stories this morning, sponsored by Carnegie Heights. Metro Police are investigating a shooting in central Las Vegas that left several people injured, including at least one in critical condition. Review-Journal's Jen Ah has the latest from police. Jen?
Well, Renee, Metro Police tell us an altercation right outside a 7-Eleven convenience store led up to the shooting. Officers were called to the 1100 block of Las Vegas Blvd South just after 4 p.m. yesterday after receiving reports of gunshots from a car. The officers then tailed the car until it was stopped near Desert Inn Road.
As the suspect was fleeing from officers, he struck two citizen vehicles in that area of Desert Inn and Swenson.
Multiple people then tried to flee from that car, but police say all 4 suspects are now in custody. Officers closed off a section of Las Vegas Boulevard for several hours yesterday while investigating this case. The roads have now reopened. Renee?
The Nevada legislature could change the rules about driving while high on marijuana. An assembly bill would require prosecutors to use more than just a positive blood test to determine if someone is impaired. Colton Lockhead explains.
The bill would make it so that those blood tests cannot be the sole indicator to determine if a driver is impaired. Under the proposal, which was heard in the legislature on Monday, police would have to determine if a driver is impaired by using field sobriety tests or similar means. And those blood tests could be used as part of that prosecution, but not the sole indicator.
The Clark County Coroner's Office has determined the cause of death for a 13-year-old girl who was found unresponsive in a Summerlin neighborhood on New Year's Day. The coroner said that Omni Halper died of acute ethanol intoxication. Her death was ruled an accident. Jonah Dillon tells us more.
We don't know a lot about the situation still. That's probably something that will come out in the course of the investigation. We know that it happened at somebody else's house, and her mom said previously that she had specifically told her not to drink, and they talked about that before she left on New Year's.
Prosecutors plan to seek a warrant to put convicted killer Zane Floyd to death. Floyd's federal appeals were exhausted in November when the Supreme Court denied his request to review the case. Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson said his deputies could ask a judge to sign the paperwork for his execution in the coming weeks. Floyd was convicted of killing 4 people at an Albertsons grocery store in Las Vegas in 1999. Let's take a look now at our local forecast, sponsored by 1 Hour Air. No matter the season, no matter the reason, 1 Hour is here for you. The warm conditions will disappear today as a dry cold front moves through the valley, producing winds of up to 30 miles per hour and a high of near 69 degrees. A wind advisory is in effect for your Tuesday. No precipitation expected from this front. Evening lows in the upper 40s. For the rest of the week, winds will gradually die down and temps will rise, looking like mid 70s into the upper 80s and possibly hitting 90 degrees by the weekend. Lots of people are watching 7 at 7 on YouTube. Remember, give us a like and then hit that subscribe button down below. In your entertainment news, sponsored by Las Vegas Motor Speedway, a new upscale nightclub has opened its doors in the historic West Side. The West Side Oasis on Westlake Meade Avenue plans to draw stars and athletes in addition to locals. City Councilman Cedric Creer spoke at the opening about the site's place in local history.
You know, this means a lot to the community. Seven Seas is historic. It is a part of this community, just a special place here.
In your business news, sponsored by Bank of Nevada, Bank on Accountability, making a big play down under. The Blackstone Group has made an unsolicited bid to buy the Australian casino operator Crown Resorts, reportedly for around $6 billion. On the Las Vegas Strip, Blackstone owns the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas, and it's the landlord for the Bellagio, MGM Grand, and Mandalay Bay. Crown's majority owner, James Packer, has tried unsuccessfully to build several projects in Las Vegas, including a skyscraper on the North Strip.
Sports, sponsored by Scenic Brewing Company. Good morning, everybody. Leandre Fox here with your morning sports update. David Jenkins Jr. became the 7th UNLV basketball player to leave the program and enter the NCAA transfer portal. He is the 3rd rotation player, joining Caleb Grill and Devin Tillis, who both entered the portal last week. And for Rebels football, spring practice begins today. After having 4 quarterbacks take snaps last fall, the Rebels look to solidify their signal caller for the upcoming season.
Sports betting, sponsored by Las Vegas Paiute Tribal Smoke and Cigar Shop. The Final Four will be finalized today when top seed Gonzaga plays USC and number 1 seed Michigan plays UCLA. The Zags are 9-point favorites over the Trojans at the Westgate Sportsbook, and the Wolverines are 7-point favorites over the Bruins. A William Hill bettor in Nevada has a $1,000 wager to win $200,000 on USC to win the national title, and a BetMGM bettor wagered $5,000 to win $250,000 on UCLA to win it all.
In your lifestyle news, sponsored by Get Healthy Clark County, the Las Vegas luxury home market remains red hot, with 2 celebrities recently selling their homes in the valley. First, NBA player DeMarcus Cousins has sold his 2-story mansion in the exclusive Queensridge community for $7.5 million. It was the second largest sale in the Las Vegas Valley this year. Meanwhile, Rick Harrison of the TV show Pawn Stars has sold his 5-bedroom home in the Red Rock Country Club for just over $3 million. In your health news, helping the vulnerable getting vaccinated, adult daycare centers were not included in a federal partnership to get COVID vaccine doses to long-term care facilities. But now, with the help of pharmacies, clients are getting the protections they need.
One of the most joyful moments I've had since the start of COVID, I have to tell you. It really released my soul. These are people, our family caregivers who've been living with persons with dementia, for instance, in their home, unable to get a break, unable to go out, afraid to leave them, even go to the grocery store.
Well, that's all for today's 7 at 7 a.m. I'm Renee Semmerauer. Remember to tell your friends that we're bringing you 7 minutes of fresh, nonstop local news at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. weekdays on lvrj.com and the RJ mobile app. You can also find us on Roku, YouTube, and so much more. We hope you'll join us again this evening for 7 at 7 p.m. Thank you for watching.
Review Journal Studio, sponsored by Adam Kuttner. Get the maximum settlement as quickly as possible. This 7 at 7 update, sponsored by Pro Group Management. You're watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review Journal.